Hey everybody, Tyraku here, and today I'm going to be doing a follow-up video to my most recent video, which was when to replace War Maiden. So if this is your first time watching this series of videos, this one's going to be on Spirithost today. My goal with these videos is not to do an in-depth guide on the champion and how the champion works, but instead go through when you're going to be replacing those champions you get from the beginning of the game that are typically pretty staple in most of your team setups. So jumping and talking about Spirithost today, I did have a comment on my most recent video that mentioned maybe talk about what champions you could potentially use before even getting Spirithost. So kind of do like champions that could be useful before getting Spirithost, while having Spirithost, obviously you're going to be using her, and then after you get her, some ideas of what you're going to be looking for. So now there's no champions that can really replace Spirithost, but there is one in particular that I do want to touch on in this video who can kind of do something similar to Spirithost depending on what you're looking for exactly. So jumping in here, I'm going to show you my Spirithost. I'll let you look at some of her stats. Maybe this will help you out. But as you can see, it's all speed gear. Like I said, I'm not going to jump into much on the gear, but she's just very, very fast. I want her to be going first or second on my team, and this is why. Looking at her skills, her A1 attacks one enemy, heals by 50% of the damage. Very basic. You're not having Spirithost in your team because of this ability by no means. Her A2 places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. I believe before she is ascended, I believe this is only 25% increased attack. So you definitely want to get her taken up to 3-star ascension as soon as possible to make her actually more useful on your team. She's still useful, but this makes her even more useful. Her A3 removes all debuffs on all allies, places a block debuffs for 1 turn, essentially. And then her aura increases ally speed in all battles by 10%. So Spirithost kind of has 3 reasons for being on any team. 1, she increases your team speed with an aura, and it's in all battles. And I know I've been getting this question a lot on stream as well. Whenever you have something that says like only in dungeons, does that apply to the clan boss? No. The only thing that applies to the clan boss is when the aura says in all battles. So Spirithost is a great leader for the clan boss. She can actually give you an aura that does work. So Spirithost can be used on your team as a speed aura. She can also be used as a debuff remover. Works amazing in things like Dragon, who applies a lot of debuffs. Arena, it works well. She has some special synergies with some other champions such as Umbral Enchantress. I don't think I actually have her, but she works very well with people who apply debuffs to themselves. She's also very good for buffing up your nuker if you're going for that nuking type team in the arena. For me specifically, I use her for all 3 of these roles. So I'm gonna jump into an arena match. I'm gonna try to put her on my team. I do have her replaced right now. I don't currently use Spirithost very much. I do use her in Dragon sometimes and in some of the dungeons, but overall I do have her replaced. So let me just jump in here to a team and show you kind of how she works. So let's go to Spirithost. Okay, I don't have her replaced actually. I'm still using her. It's just in a different role. So actually, I'll just keep my team how it was. So while she's not the leader, I do have the leader being Haikatoon, because Haikatoon has a 19% speed boost. So this kind of touches on a champion you can replace Spirithost with. Haikatoon, you get her for free after 30 days. So you may use Spirithost as a leader for the first 30 days. Once you get Haikatoon, you can replace Spirithost from your leader in the arena with Haikatoon. So definitely an upgrade for the speed directly from Haikatoon. So when we jump into this battle, what you're going to see is my Haikatoon goes first. She gives a increased speed to everybody on the team. Spirithost goes second, which is crucial here. Increases the attack for everybody. And my 2 nukers, or fairly high damage dealers, are both attack-based champions, so their damage scales based on attack. If you have a champion who scales based on defense, it's actually not going to help them at all to have this increased attack. But in our situation, we're perfect. We're good to go. So War Maiden is going to do even more damage here. So we do this. We talked about this in yesterday's video. Apply the decreased defense. Aethel is going to do especially more damage with the increased attack plus the decreased defense up. She should one-shot most of these waves, no problem. Now here is where we just kind of, hopefully we win. Apothecary is going to be a little bit of a pain. But the other really cool thing about Spirithost is this debuff remover. Now obviously we don't have any debuffs on us right now. But if we had, say, poisons on all of our people, she would have just removed everything and then placed a block debuffs on us, which would prevent the other team from applying any debuffs for 1 turn. So it's definitely awesome. It's not as beneficial as it could be. I mean, it's only 1 turn, so as soon as your champions go, it wears off. So the likelihood it's going to block debuffs is fairly low. If you use her in dragons, obviously you kind of want her to go right before the dragon wants to apply the debuffs, so that it would block all the poisons. Maybe a little difficult to speed tune her to do exactly that, but it's kind of like the idea of her. My primary focus of her is using her as a speed booster on the arena for the team lead. But then once I get Haikatune, her role switches to primarily attack booster. Now they're jumping into like the attack boosting side of things. There's a few champions who can replace her for that. That's what I actually want to talk about in this video. So there's a champion specifically that everybody gets in the beginning of the game who can kind of work as a substitute for Spirit Host before you get Spirit Host. And that champion is War Priest. So War Priest has a place a 25% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. So is this as good as Spirit Hosts? By no means. It's definitely not. It's 25% versus 50%. But it is an increased attack on all allies for 2 turns. So it gives you that extra damage to do your burst in the arena when you don't have Spirit Host. Now, she doesn't have the speed lead ability, so you're not going to get that 10% extra speed in the arena, which can make the difference between going first and second. But she does come with the increased attack, give you more burst damage, and a little extra benefit, a heal and then a freeze. So definitely look into War Priest. If you don't have Spirit Host, War Priest does make a pretty viable option as far as increasing your attack on your champions. Now, there's no uncommon champions with auras. Uncommon champions don't have auras. You don't get auras until you get into the rare category. But if you have anybody who does increase speed in all battles by 10% or increases speed in the arena specifically, and I believe, okay, so Mother Superior works as a good speed lead. There's a few champions. Let me show you one I specifically know of who's right here. He's an epic, but it increases speed in the arena by 24%. So if you're looking for an arena booster, go for something like that. But if you have somebody who can do a speed boost in all battles, works kind of as a replacement for Spirit Host, and then you want somebody who can increase attack. You can have 2 separate people fill in those roles. It's no problem at all. But that's kind of Spirit Host's job. Let me jump into a Dragons match and try to show you what it looks like when Spirit Host gets to the end and removes the poison. So I'm going to take some of my team out of here. I'm only going to bring one person. I'm going to use her as a speed leader. I'm going to bring my Aethel just so we can actually try to see what it looks like when Spirit Host does remove these debuffs successfully. Hopefully I can make it through these waves. I'm not for sure if I can. I didn't want to get it so low that she wouldn't be on the right cooldowns, but we can remove this decreased heal, the heal reduction as well. I'm just going to try to do it against the dragon whenever he applies his poisons. This will definitely be best because the poisons can definitely hurt your team bad against the dragon. Dragon also applies stun, so if you get it placed in the right time, you can actually block the stun as well. If it's off cooldown right now, okay, so it's not. I was gonna say we could remove this block cooldowns from Aethel. Not a big deal, but we'll go ahead and show you just a second what it looks like when you use it against the dragon. I turned it onto manual just so she's not using the remove debuffs right now, or the remove buffs, or remove debuffs. I'm right. So we're just gonna attack the dragon, wait for him to attack, apply it to us, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Whenever he does his breath, he should apply, so he applied a stun, waiting for the poison. I assume the dragon applies poisons even at this stage. Hopefully, yeah, okay, so now you can see we got 3 debuffs on each of us. You just use this, removes them both, and their block cooldowns for the next turn. Now this is what I was talking about, is about having Spirit Host speed tuned. Could be a little different. So like, if Spirit Host would have done that right before the dragon would have attacked, that would have been better. But she did it, and then Aethel went. So since this block cooldowns, or this block debuffs ability only works for 1 turn, as soon as your person takes a turn, it's gone. So it's not super effective. You're mostly going to be using Spirit Host for just removing the cleansing of the debuffs. But there are situations where you could get lucky and actually block the debuffs. I have had that happen before. It's just a little difficult to intentionally make that happen. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this dragon. Actually, we'll go ahead and get out of this match. We may not even win, honestly. We'll pick the weak affinity, but either way, you get the point. Spirit Host is great for removing debuffs as well. Works awesome in the arena, especially if you use other champions who like synergize well with her, like I mentioned, Umbral Enchantress. And now, so in summary, champion you can use before, oh, we got an Ancient Shard, sweet. A champion you can use before getting Spirit Host would be War Priest. Everybody gets War Priest. She's a beginner champion. She works well for that attack boost in the arena. Some champions you can use to replace Spirit Host's role inside of the arena are champions that give you increased speed, whether that's in arenas specifically or just in all battles. If you have somebody with increased speed plus increased attack. It's awesome. There is one champion who's similar, definitely can replace Spirit Host, and he is right here, Seeker. He doesn't have an increased speed aura. He has an increased ally defense aura, but he does have this ability, which is fill turn meter of all allies by 30% and places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. So this would kind of replace Spirit Host. If you had both of them, you would likely just take him over Spirit Host because you can't stack the increased attacks. And this fills turn meter of all allies by 30%. Kind of works as a almost improved version of that speed. So definitely, if you get Seeker, he definitely replaces Spirit Host for sure. There's a lot of champions similar, so definitely keep that in mind when you're going into looking for a champion to replace Spirit Host and what you're looking for. Those 3 abilities, the primary one is the speed aura and the increased attack. The debuff removal is nice. You can still use her in dragons to remove those debuffs. But that has been a when to replace Spirit Host guide. If you have any comments, criticism, critiques you can make to this video, let me know. I definitely want to improve these, make these the best my ability. If you have any specific champions you want to know when you should be replacing them, leave that in the comment section below as well. I would love to get to those. Definitely check out the Twitch stream. I stream live every day except for Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below, as well as to my Discord. Definitely join that, check it out, hang out. We got quite a few beginner clans, so if you're a beginner and you're looking for a clan, join that. We can get you set up, no problem. We'll definitely be clearing whatever clan boss you're able to clear. So thank you again for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.